Good evening and welcome to the Formula Racing League. Round 6 of the 100% Racing Championship takes us to Spa in Belgium. We'll be in for a 44-lap Grand Prix non-stop. Qualifying was done yesterday. And just a quick summary as to what happened. Apparently, Jackson topped Q1 as there was 2 DNFs in Q1, followed by Melios in Q2, who was fastest in that one. And then Kevin took pole. In case you want to know who Kevin is, that's Big Balls Bells, who's on pole position, with Jackson alongside its Melios in third ahead of Wild Dog. Ginge and Jay Hartnell make up row 3, followed by Liverpool Fun and Paige Baguette. Gameful Odds and Vamo round out the top 10, and then we've got Fragile Tunnel, Terades, Leppy, Eckott, Statistic King, Dixon, Leclerc, Will. I think it says Eat My Dust on that one, yeah. So Eat My Dust is on the back of the grid, along with Quick Killer. So the grid has already been sorted, so we'll just the race. And we'll wait for everyone to be given an opportunity to sort out their fuel and tyre strategies, and we'll get this race underway as soon as possible. In the Drivers' Championship, Big Boss Bells has a mammoth 83-point lead over Dixon. It's 40 points for a race victory. So he's already 2 full rounds clear. There is a point on offer for and a point for the fastest up, unless it's 2 for the fastest up, if I'm mistaken. Just have a look on the sheets. Well, Dixon took pole and fastest up last week, even though he didn't win the race. So that's a championship point for pole position and fastest up, or a championship point for Big Balls Bells, who extends his lead at the top by a further point. I'm sure he'll want to get another victory today. So he's won 3 out of the 5 races so far. Last week, Jackson won out at Silverstone, with Dixon coming home second. Winfield was in third place, and Big Balls Bells only 4th, given all the safety cars we had throughout that one. So if you have joined us, we do welcome you. Feel free to get involved in the live chat and like the video and subscribe. I think one of the drivers is trying to get in, so whilst we'll just run through the grids for the race and we'll get the person back into the lobby. So we go for a formation that. So Big Balls Bells and Jackson line up next to each other on the front row. Both were started on the medians, so it's Melios and Wild Dog on row 2. Ginge and Jay Hartnell are on row 3, followed by Liverpool Fun and Paige. On the 4th row, that's Gameful Odds and Vamo making up the top 10. Then it's Fragile Tunnel, Terades, Leppy, Eckott, Dixon, Leclerc, Will, Exotic Alpha, Eat My Dust, and Quick Killer. So we're just going to invite this driver back in. Hopefully she'll be in time, and then we can get racing very, very shortly. So apologies for that. The race hasn't started anyway, hence why I decided to do that. So we only got one driver started on the hard compound, that's Eat My Dust. Jay Hartnell, Vamu, Terades, Leppy, Will and Quick Killer start on the mediums, as well as Big Balls Bells and Jackson All the others are on the softs. So Big Boss Bells leads the field round. Can he notch up another victory and take a step closer to the title? So a rundown on the calendar. We've done Bahrain, Brazil, Austria, Azerbaijan and Silverstone. Spa is round 6. We've got 4 rounds remaining after this one. We'll go to Australia and then Spain. And then the last 2 rounds are expected to be at Portimao and Imola. Imola, the host of the season finale, on the 16th of October. So the cars making their way back onto the grid now. So Quick Killer taking up the 20th and last position on the grid. So wait for the 5 red lights to appear in front of the drivers. 44 laps lie ahead of them. Who will come away supreme on this magnificent Spa-Francorchamps circuit? The 5 red lights are coming on right now. Here we go then. Who will lead into the hairpin of La Source? It's lights out, and away we go. Big Boss Bells gets off the line fine. Jackson gets away better though. He's going to go to the outside of the McLaren as they make their way through La Source. 3 abreast into turn 1 because Melios is alongside the McLaren. But Jackson takes the lead of the Grand Prix. That's Big Boss Bells into second place, followed by Ginge, who's managed to get up into third place in the Alfa Romeo. Going side by side with the Alpine and Melios, making their way through Eau Rouge now as they go through. So Jackson in the lead with Big Boss Bells getting a tow from him. Therese is out of the race though. He's crashed out at Radion. So he's the first retirement of the race. Virtual safety car deployed. And Jackson should remain ahead of Big Boss Bells as they go through Les Combes. But Terades is the first driver to fall foul of that daunting Eau Rouge Radion complex. He goes no further. So Jackson in the lead with Big Boss Bells in second place. Ginge third ahead of Melios. Wild Dog is in 5th place at the moment as well. He's down 1 position from his starting place. Little Van is in 6th, and it's Vamu, Gainful Odds, Dixon up to 9th as well. He started from 15th on the grid. So good getaway there from Dixon, with Leclerc running out the top 10 in the Red Bull. So we are just waiting for the VSC to end. I don't know who's picked up damage on that first lap. We could well see 1 or 2 drivers coming into the pits at the end of the opening lap. So Jackson getting the start he needed. The race winner of last week at Silverstone. Getting off to the perfect start. Now Big Boss Bells can take it easy. There's a long way to go yet in this one. He doesn't need to be taking too many risks. He's got a very healthy lead at the top of the Drivers' Championship. And so the virtual safety car is ending now. Drivers need to be careful because if any of them exceed the VSC once it ends, or the delta of the VSC when it ends, then they'll get drive-through, but it looks as though that none of them have been penalised. So we're back on the way at Spa. Jackson leads as the drivers complete the first lap. It's a very long lap here at Spa, 7 kilometres. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps as we watch Ginge close in on Big Boss Bells in the fight over second place. So we make the way through Eau Rouge. Jackson takes it easy. Big Boss Bells likewise. And now see any other battles going on further behind. There's a freeway scrap for 10th place as Leppy leads Dixon and Eckhart. Dixon's dropped back a couple of positions actually since the VSC had ended. There's Page in 13th place as we watch Quick Killer and Fragile Tunnel make up the rear. So Jackson leads, 1 second clear at the moment. He's on the mediums. So is this Big Boss Bells. So Jin should have the tyre advantage as he's one of those that started on the soft compound. Page gets the first time penalty of the race. 3 seconds it is for track limits. As we watch, Melios is behind Ginge at the moment. Paige has lost connection somewhere, so we're hoping that she does get back in. So we watch Melios go toe-to-toe with Ginge as these fights over third place. The Exotic Alpha in front. And Leclerc's been penalised for track limits. Exotic Alpha likewise. Jackson with a new fastest lap. And the DRS has now been enabled for the drivers. Paige is back in now, so she'll take back control of her McLaren. So there's Liverpool Fan and Wild Dog coming through the picture. Going through Radion. They come. Wild Dog to the outside with DRS, and he goes up to 5th place ahead of Liverpool Fan. Gameful Odds going side by side here. He gets past both the Aston Martin and the Mercedes there to put his AlphaTauri up into 11th position. And someone's gone wide. Is that Leppy? It is. So Leppy's lost ground there. Not sure if he's got damage to his car. It doesn't look as though he has. Dixon has just got in front of Vamu, actually. He's gone round for a spin. He's touched the barrier at Pouon. If he joins now, then he's going to fall down to 13th place. And looks like Jay Hartnell should go by him here. Not quite so. And 6 to the outside. Vamu going to the inside, and Quick Killer taking advantage of the open door here to try and get through and up into 14th position, and he does so. So Jackson in the lead still. Big Boss Bells under pressure here from Ginge and Mielios. So Big Boss Bells is not going to have DRS. Ginge and Mielios are going to. The driver's coming towards Eau Rouge now. Big Boss Bells stays ahead. Rear wing open. Someone's gone off in sector 1. Looks like Vamu's gone for another spin. Here's Jens, look, going to the outside of Big Boss Bells, and he goes through and up to 2nd place. Someone's gone off at Radion. It looks like Gainful Odds has gone off the track. He stays out of the way of the other drivers, but he's fallen way to the back of the field. And Big Boss Bells has kept hold of 2nd place somehow. So Big Boss Bells not giving up by any means here. And so he remains in front of Ginge for now. So we're on lap 4 of this race. Now, Big Boss Bells' closest rival in the championship at the moment, that would be Dixon, as he's on 73 points, and it's Vamu on... Dixon's on 75 points, Vamu's on 73, and it's Eckart's in 4th on 66, and Jackson in 5th on 55. So as it stands, even in 2nd place, Big Boss Bells would still be extending his lead at the top of the championship, with 4 rounds to go after this. And Liverpool Fan almost going for a spin on the exit of the bus stop chicane, but just about recovered from that. He has lost a position to Leclerc. So Jackson doing absolutely brilliantly so far. Whereas Ginge approaching the back of Big Boss Bells in the fight for second. Using the ERS as well. Ginge, can he get to the inside here? He can do. He doesn't quite get through. Oh, it spins! Contact with the McLaren. So Ginge goes for a spin in the Alfa Romeo. And he falls behind his teammate in 7th place now. Now he's got a Mercedes on his left and was a little bit marginal there. Maybe should have given him a little bit more space. Wild Dog runs wide at Beau Rivage. And he's trying to get back through on Ginge, but doesn't quite do so. Eckart's fancying a go on these guys. He won't do it through Prawn though, unless either Ginge or Liverpool fan made an error. So Eckart to the inside of Liverpool fan. Does he get through into 8th position? The answer is no. Liverpool fan not having any of it. So Dixon's up to 4th place now in the Haas, as he continues to close in on the top 3. Now Jackson's lead is over a couple of seconds, with lap 5 all but done. And Mielio's not quite able to use the DRS as he wasn't within a second of Big Boss Bells at the detection point. It's a good race so far for Jackson, dominating at the front. And Eckhart going to the inside of Liverpool fan into La Source. The two make contact. His front left wheel touching Liverpool fan's side pod. And now they make their way down the hill towards Eau Rouge. And Will into the DRS range. And Leppy's out of the race. He's crashed out at Radion. So he's done exactly the same thing as what Therese did on that one. That could bring out the safety car, you know. I mean, pretty much the whole field has gone past him already. So it could be... You can see the line that Jason's taken, actually, through Pouhon. It's a very clever line. I've seen it before from another sim league with the top esports races involved. So Leppy, the second retirement of this Belgian Grand Prix so far. It doesn't look as though we are going to get a VSC or a safety car, so the race carries on as it is. Gainful odds with a time penalty now. I think that's his second one of the race. No, it's his first one. So we'll have to be on his toes for the remainder of this one, but there is a long way to go yet in this Belgian Grand Prix. Jackson's lead is 3 seconds over Big Boss Bells, and it's Mielio's a further 6/10 adrift of the McLaren. Well, further 6/10 of the Haas, but he's 6/10 behind the McLaren of Big Boss Bells. To be honest, you don't even need a stopwatch to tell you how close he is. Uses the DRS on the pit straight before they get to La Source. Emilio's will close in. And with DRS, he should get Big Boss Bells on the Kemmel Straight. So through Eau Rouge they go through now. Rear wing open. And I don't think he's able to close in, actually. Having said that, Big Boss Bells' ERS is pretty much, well, I wouldn't say evaporated, but he hasn't got that much left. So Melios has been very frugal with his ERS at this present moment. As we watch Ginge get past Wild Dog for 6th position. Liverpool fan also fancying a go. He's had a clean race so far as Liverpool fan, to be fair. He nearly spun it out of the bus stop chicane, but recovered it all up. I don't know if we are expecting rain in this one. The conditions look rather overcast. So we'll wait and see as the race goes on. I can tell you that no drivers had pitted. No one has pitted yet in this race at all. No one needing to come in for a front wing change. And it looks like the Liverpool fan has gone for a spin on the exit of Fania, and he has done. He's spun into the barrier there. He doesn't be taking too much damage from that. He's got going again, but he's now down in 17th place. Page has just gone past him. So we're now on lap 8. Jackson in command of the race. As someone's gone off in sector 3. Liverpool fan has gone off again in the Mercedes, and he's got damage to his front wing, I think, on the right-hand side. So that'll be him off into the pits for his first stop. Eckhout has been overtaken by Ginge, or Wild Dog I should say. He's got back through on him on No Rouge. Almost like Alonso and Webber back in 2011 all over again through there. Eckhout made it work. Wild Dog went through the runoff area. But no harm done as Dixon gets past Melios, and that's why Melios has gone off the track at the Lecombe area. He's dropped behind Leclerc in 5th position. So Leclerc having a fine race so far, despite the penalty he's got. And now Dixon all over the back of Big Boss Bells. You can see the line he's taken with that extra AstroTurf there. Eckhout now with a time penalty. So Dixon all over the back of Big Balls Bells as they go through Blanchimont. As they make their way through La Source now. Dixon right on the tail of his championship rival, who's dominated the season so far. And now the rain is starting to come down now onto the track. You can clearly see rear wing open on Dixon's car, and he'll go through and up into 2nd place. Big Boswell's not really fighting it on this occasion, so he has to let the Haas go through. So it's now a Haas 1-2. You don't hear that every day. So Jackson leads, but the rain is continuing to come down. It's not quite time to change tyres yet. We're not quite at that crossover point between dries and intermediates. So Jackson coming towards the bus stop chicane now, with Dixon closing in behind in 2nd place. Less than 4 seconds is the gap between Jackson and Dixon. Big Boss Bells has dropped back from Dixon, so he's just taking it very easy at the moment. Someone's gone off in sector 3. It's one of the Ferraris who's gone round. It's Vamu who has gone for a spin. That's his 2nd spin of today. He's just been overtaken by Fragile. And it's not going to be long before we start seeing some pit stops as Quick Killer decides to make a stop now. Now, is this for a new front wing ready for him, or is this intermediates going on? It's intermediates going on, which is early. It is a long lap though. Fragile Tunnel is doing the same, but in the Alpine, as is Vamu. You can see the raindrops on the track now, so we'll wait and see how much time they do actually gain. So Quick Killer needing to take it very carefully through Rouge and Ruddy on that. Now the problem for Haas is that the two cars are only just 3 seconds apart from each other, so it could well be they're just coming together, or one will have to go round for another lap. And it'll have to be Jackson coming into the pits and getting service first, because he's the one who's leading the race. And someone's gone for a spin. Vamu has lost his front wing. Oh, Rouge, he's out of the race. He's retired on track as well, which is not within the rules, so you may have the book thrown at him for that. And we've got a virtual safety car. So we've got a virtual safety car now in this race. I think Jackson's mind will be made up, actually. He makes his way into the pits. Dixon also slowing down to give his teammates some space for when he does come into the pits to get the intermediates on. So the pit lane is going to get very busy now with the leaders coming in. So Dixon doesn't lose too much time, I don't think. And he gets out in front of Big Boss Bells. So he keeps hold of his second position. And the Alfa Romeo's having to stack as well. So that's not good news for Wild Dog, who's had to wait behind. And Eckhart has lost his front wing somewhere. So Quick Killer, does he gain anything from being on the intermediates a lap earlier? He's up to 10th place now by the looks of it, although Jay Hart was just coming out of the pits ahead of him. But he's not going to be up to full speed like the Aston Martin is. So Quick Killer gets up to 10th place by pitting a lap earlier. So Jackson's lead is nearly 10 seconds now over Dixon. Big Boss Bells is still in third place. Mielios has got back up to fourth now, though, ahead of Leclerc, who's fifth. We just look to see who else has just come out of the pits. Gamefull has come out of the pits. Lovell still going in 17th place. He's still on the lead lap, though, so if we do get a safety car, he can make his way back up, well, catch back up to the field, as Will gets a time penalty for track limits. 3 seconds it is. And someone's gone off in sector 2. It's Fragile Tunnel. Looks like he's got damage to his front wing by the looks of it. He's got going again, though. So we've lost 3 drivers in this race so far, as Dixon gets penalised now for track limits. And Fragile Tunnel is just struggling at the moment. The rain is intensifying at the moment, so if it continues to deteriorate, will it be enough for the drivers to go onto the full wets? Jackson running wide on the curbs there. Dixon got through there fine, as did Big Boss Bells. Mielios likewise. Leclerc taking it easy there in the Red Bull. So Quick Killer in 10th place. Done well from the back of the grid, actually. Started 20th. He's inside the top 10 now. I don't think Paige is in play at the moment. She seems to have disconnected somewhere, so we are hoping she will be back in the car before the race is over. So Jackson's lead has been cut down actually by Dixon, so Jackson's lost time on this lap. He really is not liking the conditions at all. He really is struggling. Gap is now 4.5 seconds. I wonder if Jackson may be saving a bit of fuel at the moment as Dixon closes in on him. So we're now on lap 13. As Big Boss Bells runs a bit wide at La Sauce, and that's allowed Mielios to close in. The DRS has now been disabled, which means drivers behind won't be able to use that utility. And Jackson now gets penalised for track limits. So Dixon continues to wheel him in at the moment. He's flying in these conditions at the moment, Dixon. He usually thrives in these conditions, you know. You can see, using all the track and then some. And it looks so that Jackson is continuing to lose time. I don't know if he's got damage somewhere, but either way, he's not enjoying these conditions. I think Big Boss Bells may have damage to his car. Whilst Jackson is continuing to lead, although the gap is coming down somewhat to 2 seconds. So that's another lap done as Mielios looks to make a move on Big Boss Bells going into La Source. The Alpine goes to the outside. Big Boss Bells shuts the door. Mielios will complete the switchback as long as he gets good traction coming out of La Source. He won't be able to get through. Kemmel Straight is going to be the best place where he can get through. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get caught out by the turbulent air of the McLaren. Now Big Boss Bells is using some of his ERS, so he's using that to defend and keep hold of third position. Here's Will in 9th place behind Exotic Alpha, who gets a penalty for track limits. You saw him run wide there through the run-affair of Radion. And Dixon's now 0.8 of a second behind Jackson. He's all over the back of him. Now this is the part of the circuit where Jackson has been struggling on the intermediate, so Dixon's going to be right on his gearbox here. And I think we're going to see a change of leader very, very shortly. So Dixon waiting for his chance. The bus stop chicane is probably his best opportunity to get through here. And I'm not sure if Jackson's going to fight it out that much, if I'm honest with you. So through Stavelo they go. So Dixon over the line, 0.4 adrift of Jackson. So a third of the way through the race now. Jackson leads by half a second over Dixon. He's clearly got more pace on the intermediates than Jackson does. Mielios gets a penalty now for track limits. So he needs to get by Big Boss Bells as soon as he can here and try and open up a gap. So Eat My Dust is in 13th place. And Jackson and Dixon still not leaving each other alone at the moment. Dixon going to the outside, trying to find more grip than his teammate, but can't quite find it there. So ERS being used by Dixon. Page gets a time penalty now for track limits. And someone's gone off in sector 2. That will be Leclerc, I think it is. So he goes off and loses a position to Ginge. Here's Dixon. Fancy go to the outside of the bus stop chicane. He can't quite get the traction coming off the bus stop chicane though. And so he waits behind his teammate once more. And it looks as though that Leclerc's gone off the track and Fragile Tunnel is out of the race. He's crashed out at Malmedy. And we've got a safety car. This is our first safety car of the race. Fragile Tunnel ends his race in the barriers and he'll go no further. Leclerc gets into the pit lane. Seems to have front wing damage and he's retiring from the race. So he's had enough. I'm actually surprised he's decided to do that. I'm really, really am. Jay Hartnell also coming in. Don't know if he's got damage to his Ferrari. Eckhart also deciding to get some new tyres on. And Leclerc has stopped in the pit lane. And it's holding up the traffic, although Jay Hartnell's got through now. So the leaders will be catching up now. Page makes her way into the pit lane, as does Gainful Odds. Level Fun continues round for another lap. So 5 drivers out of the race so far. Leclerc, Fragile, Famu, Lepi and Terades. Now the leaders have not yet caught up to the safety car. And this is a good opportunity for Big Boss Buzz to close back in on these guys. What will the leaders decide to do here? They may take the opportunity to get another set of intermediates on. Now Jackson comes in, Dixon stays out. So differing of strategies here. Big Boss Bells and Mielios will go through. And Jackson should rejoin ahead of Ginge because he's still having to adhere to the safety car delta. And a new front wing going on Jackson's car, so that explains his drop in performance because he needed a new front wing. So Jackson rejoins ahead of Ginge in 4th position. So Dixon's caught up to the safety car now, which I think will stay out there for a couple of laps to allow the field to get back together. Dixon in the lead, Big Boss Bell second, Mielios third, Jackson ahead of Ginge and Wild Dog. Exotic Alpha is in 7th place ahead of Will and Quick Killer. My Dust is in 10th ahead of Jay Hartnell. Eckhart 12th. Liverpool Fan in 13th position ahead of Page and Gainful Odds. And Liverpool fan continuing to get penalised. I think that may be his first penalty of the race, actually. Yeah, it is his first one. So only 3 drivers do not have time penalties in this race now. They are Big Boss Bells, Quick Killer, and Eat My Dust. So you have just joined us and wondering why we're under safety car conditions. It's because Fragile Tunnel crashed out of the race at Malmedy. This is our 3rd interruption of the race. We've already had 2 virtual safety cars. This is the first safety car we have had in the Grand Prix. Now, can Dixon take his 2nd victory of the season? He's already won at the Red Bull Ring. He's got a penalty hanging over him as well of 3 seconds. Now, drivers who have 3-second time penalties to their names. Well, Mielos has got another 5 seconds coming his way now because he's just made contact with Big Boss Bells. So that could well be him off into the pits very shortly, or he will be coming into the pits later on. So he's served those 5 seconds. But the drivers with 3-second time penalties, they are Dixon, Jackson, Ginge, Will, Jay Hartnell, Liverpool fan, and Gainful Odds. So Dixon in the clear, followed by Big Boss Bells. The safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap. Now the rain is continuing to come down, but it's not that heavy. So those thinking about coming in for wets is probably not going to be the right choice. And the safety car is not coming in this lap, I don't think, because the lights are still on. I think it's going to be going around for another lap, to be honest with you. Certain parts of the racetrack are wetter than others. Got to be really, really careful on this track. Located in the Ardennes Forest. So the safety car does stay out. Dixon. And the rain is coming down harder and harder and harder, you can tell. Could pit stops for wet tyres be far away now? That's the £1,000,000 question. I don't know if the rain is expected to stop and potentially see some dry conditions before the checkered flag, though the driver with the fastest lap of the race is Dixon. And drivers making their way through Funya. And this race should get back underway very shortly. And the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So Dixon will decide when to go as the safety car makes its way back into the pit lane. 15 still running in this race, all of which would be eligible for points should they all finish. So Dixon waiting to go. So Dixon, has he gone yet? He has now. So we're back on the way here at Spa with Dixon in the lead. Quick Killer into the pits for a change of tyres. Could this be him going on to a set of wets, I wonder? And it looks as though drivers are really, really struggling in the conditions, I have to say. The intensity's incredible. And yes, full wets going on. Jackson also making the switch. So those on the intermediates are surely going to struggle as they make their way through Eau Rouge corner. And seem to have got through there fine. So Quick Killer rejoins on wet tyres. How long will it be before the leaders decide to make that switch? So Mielo's in third place behind the McLaren of Big Balls Bells, who hasn't really put a foot wrong in this race except allowing Jackson to get through ahead of him. But now Jackson's behind him. He's coming in for another set of intermediates actually, so Jackson has been in a lot of trouble so far. He's already had his front wing replaced and it looks like he may have had another one replaced, so Jackson very much struggling in these conditions. Quick Killer gets a time penalty for track limits. I'd say the crossover points around about the same as you can see. Mielo's making a move here on the McLaren of Big Boss Bells. He'll go to the outside as they approach Blanchimont, but Big Boss Bells stays in front. And the drivers make their way over the line. And someone's gone off in sector 2. Oh, it's Jackson. He's out of the race. So Jackson's crashed out on the Exeter campus. And we have yet another safety car in this Grand Prix. This could be good news for Quick Killer, actually. So Jackson, who had led the race earlier on, is now out of the Belgian Grand Prix. He's retired on lap 20. He's binned it in the wall. He will not be making it to the checkered flag. Now, Dixon's got a decision to make here. Does he decide to go in to the pits and get a set of wet tyres on? You can see how hard the rain is coming down now. And looks so Quick Killer has had to slow down a little bit there. No, he's stuck him into the pits for Intermediate. It's the way to go here. Dixon makes his way into the pits for a change of tyres. Big Boss Bells also doing the same. Mielo's making his way into the pits. Exotic Alpha, does he go in the pit? Oh, he's going to come together with the Aston Martin. That was a very dangerous late call there from Exotic Alpha. It could have caused huge problems for the rest of the field. Paige making her way into the pit lane. Dixon back out on track now on a set of wets and continuing to lead the race. I'm just wondering where is Quick Killer. I think he may be back in the pits actually. No, he has. No, I think he made a mistake actually in the bus stop chicane. So I'm not sure if he's going to gain through all this, if I'm honest with you. So through last source, just Quick Killer. Oh, no, you need to give that place back there, Quick Killer. So Quick Killer's in 10th place now. Dixon's still in the lead, crucially. All the drivers have caught up to the safety car now. So we've still got 23 laps to go in this race. Dixon in the lead, under safety car conditions again because Jackson has crashed out in the other Haas. That's a very bad blow to his title hopes because he was looking good to take victory here after starting second on the grid behind Big Boss Pals. But it looks as though that Big Boss Pals is going to extend his lead at the top of the championship. Dixon is going to move up to second as it stands, with Quick Killer and Eckhart down the order. And the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. All the field is together. And Exotic Alpha is still on the intermediate tyres. Perhaps that late call into the pit lane wasn't a clever one. I'm just looking to see how much standing water there is on the track. Yeah, there's quite a lot of standing water out there now, so Exotic Alpha is going to be struggling. He may want to just duck into the pits and get a set of wet tyres on. That would keep him out of any trouble with the pack. Dixon is away in the lead. Nice restart over Big Boss Bells as they all exit the bus stop chicane. And Exotic Alpha is struggling in the conditions. Nearly made contact there with another car. That's how much grip he's got on his intermediates in comparison to those on the wets. Wild Dog going to the inside into La Source, and he gets through. Now they all make their way through Eau Rouge. So Exotic Alpha continuing to struggle at the moment. Quick Killer moving ahead of Exotic Alpha now, so Quick Killer through to 9th. As Dixon continues to pull out a margin at the front. So he uses the AstroTurf. He's still within track limits doing that, you know. So Exotic Alpha. Oh, and someone's gone off. It's... Oh, is that Quick Killer? It is. So Quick Killer's gone off in the Aston Martin. It's continued anyway. So Dixon has a couple of seconds advantage over Big Boss Bells in second. And Exotic Alpha's gone off into the wall. Stavolo. He's kept it going though. We've got a virtual safety car because of the leftover debris. So that'll be him off into the pits for a change of tyres. He keeps going for spins though. So Quick Killer gets back through ahead of him. So Exotic Alpha may as well get into the pits for a set of full wets. So we're into the second half of this race now. Dixon has it all under control at the moment, but we know how much can change in motor racing. So Alpha would just be so desperate to just get into the pit lane as quick as he can. We're back on the way then as Melios goes past Will into fourth position. Must have caught Will napping there, but they're going to go side by side into Lake On. And Will doesn't get through on the Alpine this time. He might do round the outside through Malmedy, but waits behind the Alpine once more. Dos, who hasn't picked up a penalty in this race yet, is currently running in 6th place. Doing a fine job on debut in the 100% Racing Championship. So Big Will Spells. It's beginning to close in a little bit on Dixon, but not by much. As it stands with the penalty, Big Boss Wells would take victory. And Exotic Alpha is still on the intermediates. I'm absolutely stunned he's still not deciding to come into the pits for full wets. Jay Hartnell gets a time penalty of 3 seconds. That takes his total to 6. So Dixon's lead is 2.6 seconds as they cross over the line. And Jay Hartnell go for a spin into the barrier. All contact made between himself and Wild Dog. And now the Williams is off into the wall. That's Eckhart as well. So that's his front wing missing. This could well deploy the virtual safety car with all that debris left on the pit straight. What a mess there between Jay Hartnell and Wild Dog. So Jay Hartnell is going to have to go through an entire lap without a front wing to his car. And Wild Dog needs to be very careful because he's got damage to his machine as he makes his way through Radion. So, as is Eckhart, he will be making his way back into the pits very shortly. And Exotic Alpha continuing on his intermediates. So Gainful Odds gets past Wild Dog at Bruxelles. Jay Hartnell lets Page go past. And now Eat My Dust gets his first penalty of the race. 3 seconds it is for track limits. So Big Boss Bells is the only driver not yet penalised in this race. So Dixon takes some curb on the exit of Stavolo. Brilliant performance from Dixon from 15th on the grid to get himself up into P1. Continuing to pull away from Big Balls Bells. The gap is now 3.3 seconds as they begin lap 26. And Ginge and Mielio is fighting over third place, look. So as Wild Dog enters the pits for a change of wets. And a new front wing, of course. Oh, and Gavelot has clouted the wall on the exit of La Source. They won't want to be doing that too many times. Jay Hartnell and Eckhart also into the pits for new front wings. So Quick Killer will go up to 10th place again. Or will he? No, Wild Dog getting out ahead of him. So Exotic Alpha, can he get in front of Jay Hartnell as they make their way through Eau Rouge? Just isn't enough room for two cars to get through at the same time. And Exotic Alpha got better drive coming out of Radion, actually. Should be able to pull alongside. Will gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. And now back to the leader, Dixon. As the Alfa Romeo Wild Dog has gone for a spin and he's ripped off his front wing. So that's him back into the pits again for a new nose. The conditions are getting treacherous at the moment, very difficult to handle. Emilios and Ginge continuing to dice over third place as they make their way down towards Eau Rouge. Who will make it first through here? Need to be sensible here, these two, and they are. So Ginge is in third place at Emilios. As Jay Hartnell gets past Wild Dog, who's touring round. So 4.5 seconds is the gap. Mielio's waiting for a lunge on Ginge. As Jay Hartnell's gone for a spin. Where has he done that? He's done it on the exit of the bus stop chicane. Wild Dog makes his way into the pit lane as well. Now this could be a retirement, to be honest with you. I think he may as well carry on, if I'm honest with you. He's not down a lap yet, but he is close to. He's going on a set of intermediates. As Mielio's has been overtaken by Will now, so Will putting in some good laps at the moment in the Aston Martin on full wet. So someone else has gone for a spin. Is that? I think that's just Wild Dog coming out of the pits. And looks like Gainful Odds has gone for a spin as well just before Stavolo. And Mielios is into the pits. Has he got damage to his front wing, maybe? I think his front wing's missing. Exotic Alpha struggling on the intermediates. So a few drivers going back onto the intermediates now, including Mielios. Exotic Alpha getting a time penalty now for track limits. So Gainful Odds going alongside the Alpine as they make their way through Eau Rouge now. And they leave each other space. So Mielios is rejoining 9th position behind the AlphaTauri. So the raindrops coming down onto the track. Now will Dixon keep his car pointing the right way here? He does. And someone has gone off in sector 3. Is that? Oh, it's Wild Dog yet again. He's having a shocker in these conditions. He needs to be careful not rejoining to the path of the other drivers. His car is ghosted as he's being lapped by the leader. Oh, this is just going from bad to worse for him now. He's gone through the polystyrene blocks. So Wild Dog down a lap now. So Dixon's lead is now 7 seconds over Big Boss Bells. James not too far behind in third, but he's got the Aston Martin of Will closing him down all the time. This is great. Oh, he nearly lost it coming through Eau Rouge there. Won't want to be making too many mistakes like that as the fan gets a time penalty for track limits. There's Paige in 7th place. Her car is controlled by the AI at the moment. And now someone else has gone off. It's Wild Dog yet again, pointing the wrong way at Malmedy. So Dixon making his way through. Fanya. And someone else has gone for a spin. Exotic Alpha has spun. Can he get the car in reverse? He can. And he gets going again. He's in 12th at the moment. So I'm not sure if the intermediates are the ones to be on right now. Although having said that, Mielios is doing fine on the intermediates. The crossover point is around about the same, so Mielios will be happy to remain on the tyres that he's on. Clearly got the tyres up to temperature. Just 15 laps to go in this Belgian Grand Prix. It was dry to begin with, and then the rain came down around about lap 10 or 11. And it's been like this since. We've had a couple of safety cars due to multiple drivers crashing out. 14 still running. And it looks so Eckhots has gone for a spin in the Williams. He's got damage to his car. Yes, he has. So the driver, 3rd place in the championship coming into this round. He's only going to pick up, I think, just 4 championship points for finishing in 13th. No, he was 4th in the championship before he came into Spa. So with Dixon leading, as it stands in the championship with him on course for the fastest at point. He'll collect 41 points in this race. Big Boss Bells would collect 33. So the gap would come down from 83 to 75 points going into the next round of the championship, which I believe will be in Australia next week. Hartnell into the pits for Ferrari. Is this him going on to intermediates? It is, you know. So Hartnell rejoins in 12th place. Eckhart's will be making his way into the pits for a change of nose cone. He'll be in a fight with Wild Dog, actually, who won't be too far behind him, both of which will be down a lap on the leader. So there's a set of intermediates going on. So those at the back of the field are taking a gamble on the intermediates. So Dixon, who won last season's 100% Racing Championship, is on course to take his second victory of the season and close down the margin on Big Boss Bells. It's a big margin as well in the championship, but he'll fight to the very end. Just got to hope Big Boss Bells makes a mistake, but I haven't seen any mistakes from Big Boss Bells today. It looks like Wild Dog has gone for yet another spin, this time on the exit of Radion. Now he's got to be careful not to rejoin into the path of other drivers. The car is ghosted. As Dixon on his own, nearly 10 seconds in front now, is on course for victory. If we get a late safety car, that could change things. Wild Dog continues to get a penalty as well. That's his... takes his total to 21. He's having a nightmare of a race. There's Will in 4th position, behind Ginge, who would not lose that place as it stands. Paige continues to get a penalty for track limits. I think she's back in control of the car now, unless I'm mistaken. No, she's not actually. As we watch Mielios go side by side with Gainful Oz, the two make contact. Can Mielios get back alongside and have a go through La Source? He does go down the inside and he gets through up into 7th place. Nice move there from the Alpine driver. But the next man ahead of him is Liverpool fan, who is 33 seconds up the road. He's over half a minute behind him. Having said that, they may need to come into the pits for intermediates. Oh, and Gainful Oz goes for a spin though! He does touch the wall, but it's only a slight tap. I think Quick Killer should go past him here and up into 9th place. And Jay Hart has been lapped by the race leader now. To be fair, if Liverpool fan was to pit in, he would still rejoin in front of Mielios. Ginge now gets a time penalty for track limits. He has the same time penalty as Will, so this is a firm battle for the final podium spot between these two. Quick Killer continuing to get penalised as well in the Aston Martin. You can see the rain is easing off at the moment. As Eat My Dust and Liverpool Fan enter the pits for intermediates now, so these two should surely retain their 5th and 6th places. Someone's gone off in sector 3. Is that Wild Dog again? It is. He really is losing a lot of time, isn't he? So Eat My Dust and Liverpool Fan rejoin in 5th and 6th places, as I've mentioned. So Mielios will have got the gap down. I would say around 10 seconds now by the time he gets through. Gets through Eau Rouge. I think the gap is over 11 seconds actually. But Mears has still got a lot of ground to make up on those ahead of him. Will gets a penalty for track limits. That puts him on to 9 seconds now. He's far enough ahead of Eat My Dust at the moment. Now we watch Dixon, who's just been unlapped actually by the Ferrari of Jay Hartnell, who's on the intermediates. So surely that may be Dixon going into the pits for intermediates at the end of this lap. He's coming towards the end of lap 33. And he does enter the pits to get a set of intermediate tyres on. Does Big Boss Bells decide to do the same? Or will he stay out there and try and keep hold of his lead? No, he's going to play it safe. I think Ginge will do as well. So Dixon will retain his lead with 11 laps remaining of this Belgian Grand Prix. So Big Bells leaves the pits on the intermediates. Now, will Eat My Dust get ahead of Will or Ginge? I don't think they are, you know. I think they're too far back. They are too far back. So Ginge rejoins in 3rd place. Will rejoins in 4th ahead of Eat My Dust. Although Eat My Dust is going to be right on his tail as they go through Eau Rouge. Local Fun gets another penalty for track limits. You can see the remaining drivers who are on wets making their way into the pits for intermediates now. So the gap that Dixon has over Big Boss Bells is 13 seconds. Absolutely dominant performance from Dixon since Jackson went out. Big Boss Bells won't be too disappointed with 2nd. He knows he's got a very comfortable lead at the top of the championship. So Gainful Odds rejoins in 10th place ahead of his teammate. Now I'm just wondering, if the rain is continuing to ease, will it ease off to the point which dry tyres could be necessary? So 10 laps remaining. Dixon still in the lead. And Wild Dog continuing to get penalised now. He's on 24 seconds of time penalty. You won't be getting too many more of those, otherwise it could result in disqualification for him. Here's Eat My Dust, who's behind Will now in the fight over 4th place. Someone's gone off in sector 2. That'll be Quick Killer at Pouan. And Gainful Odds has gone through into 9th place. And Big Boss Bells is the last driver to get a time penalty in this race. 3 seconds it is for track limits. It's done well to get up to lap 35 without a time penalty at all. So that level things up between himself and Dixon in terms of penalties. So Eat My Dust right on the tail of Will as they fight over 4th position. Eat My Dust has 3 seconds worth of time penalty. Will has 9 and Ginge has 6 seconds, so potentially Eat My Dust could all of a sudden finish on the podium. He needs to get by Will though, because otherwise he's going to lose a heap of time being stuck behind him. Quick Killer back into the pits for Aston Martin. This could be a retirement, you know. That spin he had, he must have hit the wall and broke the front wing. If he is going to continue in the race, he'll be down in 12th place, and he's going on slicks as well. There's no way he'll find grip on this track with the slicks on. So Dixon leads still. And just wants to watch Quick Killer. Just to make sure he gets round safely here. There's no way he's going to be on the right tyres. And yep, he's gone for a spin into the barrier and out of the race by the looks of things. He's crashed into the wall. Can he get the car reversed? I'm not sure he can. Well, he's able to get away from the barrier. He's broke his front wing, and that's just pure frustration for him. Sotskalpa with a time penalty. 3 seconds it is. And who's gone off there? I think, is that Quicker just staying out of the way of the others? It is. He's gone into the gravel trap as well. So Ricots and Wild Dog should move up a position each. Dixon continuing to extend the margin over Big Boss Bells. 17 seconds he's got over him. Dixon doing brilliantly so far. And the rain is still coming down, although it's only light drops at the moment. So dry tyres are very much not far away now. It just depends who's willing to take the gamble and make up so much time. It is a long racetrack though, is Spa. I think that's what Dixon will be thinking. And it looks like the rain has stopped where he is. So Quick Killer back into the pits. This is going to be another set of softs going on, I think. And someone has gone off in sector 2. Who's that that's gone wide there? It's Liverpool fan who's made a mistake. So Gainful Odds enters the pits. He's willing to take a gamble, seemingly. So Quick Killer rejoins on another set of dry tyres. He's well down the order in 14th place. So dry tyres going on Gainful Odds' car. So Dixon starting the 38th lap in the race lead. Oh, Gainful Odds has caught the curb. He's going into the wall by the looks of it. Not sure he's picked up damage. He surely has done. Yeah, carrying too much speed. And Waldo goes into the wall as well in the Alfa Romeo. Plenty of drivers making their way into the pits now. So, looks like Mielios is coming into the pits for a set of softs to go on the Alpine. You just need to be careful going over those curbs because they're going to be slippery as anything. The DRS has now been enabled, so that's going to prompt drivers to come into the pits for dry tyres. There's an instant sector 1. Is that Melios has gone for a spin? It is. His front wing's gone. And he's got a big enough margin over Page behind, so he could keep hold of his 7th position. But drivers are going to be starting to pit in now for slicks. So Dixon, what will he decide to do here? It is going to be dries. So Dixon gets some soft tyres put on, and out he goes. He's got a couple of button markers ahead of him, actually. And now we can see Ginger and Will fighting over 3rd place. Straight into the pit lane they go, and Emaidos is in there as well. And they need to take it easy through here. Last thing they want is an accident in the closing stages. So Will is in 3rd place then ahead of Ginge and Eat My Dust, but there's still plenty of time for things to change. Big Boss Bells is in 2nd position. Oh, are they going to get through safely through Eau Rouge? They do. And so Ginge is going to make a move here with DRS. Pulls alongside the Aston Martin, and he goes through and up into 3rd place. Does Ginge with the DRS. That's how effective it is as the track continues to dry out. And Quick Killer with a new fastest lap. That'll come down as the track continues to improve at Spa. You can see the sunshine coming out now, popping out of the clouds. So Merlios rejoins on another set of softs in 7th position. Will gets a time penalty for track limits. Everyone is on the soft compound tyres now. So as it stands in the battle for 3rd place in this race, Eat My Dust is most certainly going to be finishing on the podium. Will makes a mistake on the exit of Fanya, and he could well lose that place to Eat My Dust, and Wild Dog now on 30 seconds worth of time penalty. I think Dixon should have DRS actually, because he's within a second of Jay Hartnell, who should move out of the way. Dixon could be on course to post a new fastest lap here. There's a Liverpool fan having a lonely race in 6th position. The penalty that he's got won't be enough for him to lose that position. Five laps to go here at Spa. Dixon's lead is now over 21 seconds. He really is in good form, isn't he, today? Exotic Alpha has gone for a spin on the exit of Pouron. He falls behind his teammate. And Eat My Dust now gets his 2nd penalty of the race. That's another twist in the fight for 3rd. He really is not keeping up with Will at the moment. And it looks as though Exotic Alpha has gone for another spin on the exit of Stavolo this time. And Dixon posts a new fastest out, 1 minute 43.4. 4 laps remaining then. Wild Dog gets another time penalty. And Big Boss Bells going over the line. It's not going to be the fastest up of the race. That's all he can really fight for now. I think with Exotic Alpha's time penalty, that would drop him behind Eckhart. So it's been quite a frantic Belgian Grand Prix here with the mixed conditions. So Dixon coming towards the second sector. Bells is improving, but he's not improving enough to take that fast start point away from Dixon. And looks like Wild Dog has gone for another spin at Radion. It's continued. That just very much sums up his day. So Dixon, with 3 laps remaining, continuing to pull out a great margin over everyone else. Of course, to take his second victory of the season. So, we've not seen any close battles on track right now. The closest we are seeing is between Ginge and Will over 3rd place, although Will is not going to be finishing in 4th place or 3rd. He'll be falling behind Eat My Dust. So Ginge makes his way through Eau Rouge without an issue there. Will likewise. Dixon now with a time penalty of 3, but that's not going to lose him the race win as it stands. He's got a big enough margin. In fact, he can afford another 6 or 7 penalties and he would still take the victory. He might be thinking, with the lead that I've got, could I come into the pits and get another set of soft tyres on and go for the fastest lap again? That might be what he's thinking as Wild Dog enters the pits for Alfa Romeo. And then Bullfan with a new... Well, so he's got a time penalty actually. 12 seconds he's on now. That wouldn't lose him 6. So we're on the penultimate lap. Dixon absolutely on fire. So the top 8 all on the lead lap. Page gets a time penalty for track limits. So 0.8 of a second through sector 2. 0.8 down, that is, from his fastest lap. He doesn't need to worry about that right now. He just needs to get the car home. As it stands in the championship, Dixon will be closing in to within 75 points of Big Boss Bells with 4 races left. And someone's gone for a spin. I can't quite tell who that was. It may have been Eat My Dust, actually. He's had a moment in the Red Bull. He's far off ahead of Liverpool fans, so he should keep all the 5th place, although as it stands, he'll be moving up to 4th. Here we go then, we're on the final lap of this race. And Liverpool fans gone for a spin at Porn this time. And Mielios is not far behind him. And He's allowing the Alpine to go through here. A Liverpool fan will be dropping behind him, and he'll fall to 7th place. I don't know if he's got damage, but he won't have wanted to end his race in the way that it has done here. Go back to the leader. Dixon, absolutely brilliant from 15th on the grid to get himself right up to 1st position. He's going to take his 2nd victory of the campaign. And with Vamu not scoring, Eckhout only picking up 6 points from this race. Or 4 points, actually. It's going to be quite race of interest. Eckhout has just got past Exotic Alpha to go up into 11th. That's a nice move from him. He's going to finish ahead of him anyway because of the penalties. But here's Dixon. He's about to complete the final lap of the race. She's coming out to the lap page, who's in 8th. Not sure she'll keep that because most of the race was controlled by the AI of that. But Dixon is going to come through to win the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa. Dixon does it for Haas. He wins here in Belgium. A brilliant effort from him to close down the gap slightly on Big Boss Bells in the championship. Big Boss Bells will cross over the line to come home in a comfortable 2nd position. He'll take that any day given the conditions we've had. Now Ginge should hold on to 3rd. Will's not too far behind him, but Will's going to fall behind Eat My Dust with the penalty he has. So Ginge will complete the podium in 3rd place. And Eat My Dust will be promoted up to 4th from 19th on the grid. That's a great effort from him, actually. So Will drops down to 5th. Mielios will finish in 6th place. Liverpool fan 7th, Page A, Jay Hartnell 9th, Gameful Odds 10th, Eckhout 11th, Exotic Alpha 12th, Quick Killer in 13th, Wild Dog, the last of finishes in 14th. So just waiting for the last few drivers to cross over the line. Mielios could have had so much more from this race, but 6th is what it is. Liverpool fan will be the last man over the line in 7th. But it's Dixon who takes the victory here at Spa. Excellent performance. And he will be celebrated long into the night. And this allows Dixon and Big Boss Bells to pull away from the rest, leaving those two to fight out for the championship. So the drivers out onto the podium then. With Dixon, your race winner, Big Boss 2nd, and Ginge will be happy to be on the podium for Alfa Romeo. I'm just trying to see the last race that Ginge was on the podium in the 100% Racing Championship, and I'm not sure he's been on it at all. So that's his first podium of the season. So your final race result then sees Dixon, your race winner, and getting the point for the fastest lap. Big Boss Bell 2nd, and getting the point for pole position. Ginge is 3rd. Eat My Dust was in 4th place. Will 5th. Mielios in 6th on home turf. Liverpool fan 7th. Page 8th. Jay Hartnell 9th. And Gameful Odds running out the top 10. Eckhout was 11th, followed by Exotic Alpha. Quick Killer was 13th. And Wild Dog, the last of the finishers, in 14th. Jackson retired. He could have been winning this race today. Leclerc also stopped in the pits. Fragile crashed out, as did Vamu. Lepi and Therese did not make it to the finish. So the championship gap is 75 points, with Big Boss Bells leading Dixon. Four rounds remaining, and a total of 168 points left on the table. The next round will be in Australia, in Melbourne, next week. Qualifying will be on Friday at 7 p.m. British Summer Time, and then the race on the Saturday at 9 p.m. British Summer Time, Saturday the 25th of September. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. We did as well. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And do tune in a week's time for round 7 of the championship. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.